there's coping, there's seething, and there's whatever the Fromsoft fanboys are doing right now in regards to the inevitable Sony acquisition of Katakawa, and by extension, From Software. So as a result of that, everything, all the talent, all of the franchises they work on, it's all gonna belong to Sony, and it's almost immediately going to shit. And everybody knows this. Sony doesn't have a good track record with this kind of thing. Just look at Destiny. But right now, people are in denial about like lots of really critical things. Sony's bad track record, their inability to manage properties or brands. Whether or not this is gonna go like exclusive, it really doesn't matter. The game is done anyway. And I think the most like important thing, the most relevant thing to this discussion, the most important thing at this stage is the complete denial about why Sony is acquiring Katakawa. Because everyone wants you to think that, like, well, actually, it's because Katakawa is a really big company and they control all this. No, 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 no. They specifically want From Software. They've made this very clear in the past. They raised their stake in them some time ago, like they were pressuring them to sell, right? But nobody involved was interested. And so Sony is attempting a straight up takeover. They're gonna buy out the company that owns FromSoft just to have Elden Ring as their big thing on PlayStation, right? You overhyped Elden Ring, you presented it as the greatest thing ever, and as a result of that, Sony wants in on that. They swooped in like a hawk, and they're gonna try and take advantage of this company and its audience. And I suppose this is going to be a reoccurring pattern every single time any third party game like reaches any kind of relevancy at all, right? You saw it with Helldivers, you saw it with Final Fantasy back in the day, Metal Gear Solid. Like Sony gets increasingly more and more and more and more and more and more involved until the product is just a shell of its former self and that nobody really cares about it anymore. Right? And FromSoft fans like acting as like this is like FromSoft is such a big deal that like it won't possibly affect them. They are being delusional. And I think like trying to gaslight people into thinking the acquisition is because like for all of Katakawa instead of like being specifically because of FromSoft, they are completely missing the point. They are completely missing what Sony is actually trying to do. They are deliberately just covering their eyes, like see no evil, like see no evil. If I don't admit the truth, then it's not real. Like it is a complete joke. It really does need to be acknowledged. People really do need to point this out. People really do need to address this. Sony is going to acquire FromSoft. And there's no amount of Elden Ring copies that you can buy that will prevent this from happening.